What's up everyone? Today we're going to talk about a topic that has been coming up a lot recently in my life, and that topic is how to become a model. Alright, so I'm going to try to keep this video as short as possible, but you know, there's a lot of information, so forgive me if it's a little bit too long, but at least you'll be better informed. Alright, let's get started. The most common way a lot of people become models, or become an agency represented model, should I say, is they will go to an agency's open call. So most agencies during a certain time of the day have a window of time where they allow aspiring or freelance models to come into their agency and meet with an agency scout or agency representative in hopes to become a model represented by that agency. Pretty much what usually happens is you'll go to an agency and you'll bring your digitals with you. And if you guys want a video explaining what digitals are and how to make them, let me know. But it's essentially a photo of yourself. So you'll bring your digitals with you or your portfolio with you. And I suggest if you are going to bring a portfolio with you, make sure it is, you know, on par with what that agency is looking for. So then that way, if they think that this person in this photo could be a potential model, they will call you back into a room and have a further conversation with you, which is going to be more likely of a chance that you will be signed with them. So if you go back to Also Your Model episode 3, you'll see me actually go to an open call with one of my good friends, and it didn't work out well, but it gives you a good idea of how that ends up happening, what it's like, and different things you can do to prepare. So most modeling agencies have their open call times listed on their websites, but if you don't see it on there, I would suggest just calling the agency and asking them yourself. But if they do not have open calls at all, usually what they have is called online submission. And online submission is the second way that you can become a model. Online submission is actually the way that I became a model. About a week after that video that I actually mentioned earlier, I was just like, hey, you know what, let me just try and do some online submissions and just see what happens. You never know. And sure enough, I online submitted to my agency that I'm represented by now, Willow Model Management, and about a week after that they contacted me back saying that I had a nice look, they were interested and would love to get me to the agency to have a conversation with them further so that they can see if, you know, I would be a good fit at their agency. About 2 or 3 days after that, they contacted me back and said, hey, we would like to sign you. And I was really happy about it because when I met with them, they were super awesome, really nice, and super down to earth, so I figured it was a really good fit for me, especially with my crazy schedule outside of modeling. It just seemed to be the perfect fit. So for this demonstration, we're going to look at the LA Models website. So you're going to go to their website, and if you see in the top corner, it says Become a Model. That's what you're going to want to click on. And as you can see at the top, it says Online Submission. So now here you see it says Become a Model, and you just put in your language, and it's going to ask you for contact information. You're going to fill that out. After you fill that out, you're going to press continue, and it's going to take you to the next screen where you fill out your measurements. Pretty much the measurements of your body. And then after that, you're going to press continue, and it's going to ask you to upload some images. And this is where you would take those digitals and upload it. Do not submit selfies. Submit digitals. So have someone else take photos similar to these ones here of you. And there you go, you have now completed an online submission for a modeling agency. So that's pretty much how online submissions work. It's a really great way to be signed to an agency if you can't get to one. Everyone wants to be discovered and have their modeling career just shoot off into the sky. But that's very uncommon. That doesn't happen to a lot of people. But there are things you can do to help your chances at being discovered. So I'm going to go over a couple of those things with you guys now. So one of the ways that you can be discovered, like I mentioned before, is to be out and about and have an agency scout see you. And also what is a good tip if you want to liken your chances to be discovered this way is if you follow a couple agency scouts on Instagram, sometimes they'll post what city they're going to be in. So if you keep an eye on that and you position yourself in that area, maybe they'll see you and decide, hey, you look like you could be a model. Are you interested? The second way you can be discovered is who you know. A lot of times people will say who you know is just as important as what you do. I don't necessarily agree with that, but I do know that sometimes who you know can go a long way. Next, another way to be discovered is through social media. This is becoming more prevalent than ever. Social media is crazy and it has so much influence over the world, especially the modeling industry. So use your social media wisely. You can be discovered by an agency scout through your Instagram or through your Facebook. A lot of the times, some agencies will have different contests to find models through social media. So if you look here, I pulled up Instagram on my computer so that you can see the screen a little bit better. But Ford Models actually does this quite often on Fridays, and is what they called Fresh Face Friday. So as you can see here in the right hand corner, it says, want to join Ford Models? Here's your chance. DM your selfie to our Ford Model Scout account. Hashtag Fresh Face Friday. So this is a great way to be scouted. Actually, one time before I got signed with any agency, I think I was probably like 19 or 20, I actually did this. I DM'd them a selfie and they actually responded by saying, submit your photos to our website, and if we're interested, you'll hear something back. It's a very good way to get signed to an agency and be discovered. And lastly, in this whole be discovered section, I'm going to talk about reality shows and contest type shows. So the first one that should come to mind is America's Next Top Model. It has launched so many people's careers from being virtually unknown to an agency represented model that is easily recognizable. A lot of people say it's a little hokey or whatever, but you know, it's one way people can actually become models. So just keep that in mind. Keep those 4 different parts of being discovered in mind when you're trying to become a model. The fourth and final way to become a model is to be a freelance model. That is one of the hardest things to do because you become your agent, you become your lawyer, you become your social media person, you become all of the things at once because you are literally running your own career as a model. I have seen some people become freelance models and do very well, actually do better than being signed by an agency, because sometimes agencies can stifle your growth and you, at the end of the day, know what's best for you. So being a freelance model works for some people. For instance, if you check out Owawa, this is her handle on Instagram. If you check out Owawa or Destiny Owusu, she is a freelance model who is killing the game. And when I say killing, I mean killing the game. She's pretty much, you know, what you want to be if you're going to be a freelance model. So when you're a freelance model, networking will be your best friend. I mentioned it before as far as being discovered, but really networking is going to be your best friend when you are a freelance model. Because that's how you make your connections. That's how you hear about things you would have never heard about. That's how people recommend you for other stuff. I actually got my very first like real deal fitness job from networking. One of the makeup artists on set remembered that I ran track and suggested me for a job, and it was awesome. Also, using different casting call websites or different places where you can find casting calls, that's going to be awesome because your agent usually does that for you. Essentially what you want to do is become a freaking detective and go into the deep depths of the internet and find different ways to find castings, because that's going to be your bread and butter. That's going to be how you're going to get jobs to become an actual model. This ties in with social media. If you look up a hashtag, you're going to get that keyword all throughout the social media platform you're on. When you look up the hashtag casting call on Instagram, you see many different posts, and sometimes you'll actually find real deal castings on there. Pretty much the same thing goes across the platforms. Go on Twitter, follow different casting directors, all that stuff is great. Alright, I feel like I talked a lot. My mouth is really dry, and I think I need to go eat some food, so I'm gonna leave you guys here. Hopefully you found this information helpful. If you have any questions, please leave them down below in the comment section. And if you liked the video, please hit a thumbs up. I just reached my goal of 600 subscribers, so I'm so happy about that. And this year, I plan on getting to 1,000. So share my channel, share this video, subscribe if you like it, and let a friend know about it. Alright guys, I'm done talking. Until next time, peace.